We are live. Populating right
You're
now.
live and nationwide.
We are.
Outstanding.
I'm going to start with our little video clip we got.
That's pretty good, man. That's a pretty good intro.
Thanks, man.
I like that.
And, ChatGPT helping us out, create some lyrics with me. And,
That's good.
it told me that, what song to look up and try different places to put in. So,
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm probably going to have to cut it, huh? For copyright.
yeah.
No big deal. No big deal. How we doing, gentlemen? What's going on?
Doing all right. Great to meet you. I'm Travis. How's it going?
Good, good. I'm Valhalla.
Like Hellfish.
Nice to meet you both.
And, welcome to the show this week. We are W.A.R. We are resilient. You see the chats going on there.
Chat's popping.
Right.
Heck
Folks
yeah.
are excited to see you. And let's introduce our guests. Waits. Storm streaming. Got to see him do a few Lego builds. I do not know how you build Legos and talk on the chat at the same time with folks. Like the engagement at that level, I can't do it. That's why Jose's already here with me. He's like, taking control of things.
Well, luckily we've got the beautiful Wendy H, who does the emceeing for us, and she takes a lot of the pressure off of the streaming aspect. So you can just kind of focus on your Lego and focus on the conversation at hand, and she takes care of everything else for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Teamwork.
She's pretty awesome. Wendy H is amazing. So you guys,
how was your transition out? Like when you came on the service, like is this what you wanted to do? Like
No.
How did you want to go to where you are today?
That's a
huge question.
That is a huge question. I got out in 07. So I've been out for quite a while now. And I struggled for a long time with lots of things. The streaming thing just kind of happened recently. It happened in the last, 2 years, and it's just paying attention on YouTube and saw some guys making crude jokes, and I was like, the world needs a lot more of that. They need a lot more of that rough around the edges. I think we all need to dial back our feelings a little bit and just kind of let things slide a little more. I think it'd benefit everybody in society.
Absolutely. And things that we've seen over the last year of doing war is just that there needs to be more positivity. There's a lot of things in the veteran community are there, and people are very quick to cut our own throats of our own people.
100%.
I feel there needs to be more and more collaborations versus people competing over the same stuff.
That's something that I've personally had the opposite kind of to experience with YouTube, right? Most of the stuff I've experienced on YouTube are just that, helping each other kind of grow and be better. And this community that I've found myself in is done a pretty good job of doing that, which I like. I think it's a good thing, right? It's always good when people help each other out.
Absolutely. And like, for me personally, I got Jose that likes to jump up and every now and again go on. So dogs are always welcome on the show as well.
So what is it with the goats? Tell me about the goats. The goats are cool. I grew up with goats.
They've got their moments. I'll give them that. I don't actually know, man. That was kind of one of my things when I was in the army, right? It was always I want to get out I want to get out, drink beer, get fat, and raise goats. That was just kind of a joke I had. Well, I guess it came true at some point, somewhere along the
Now,
lines.
do you have any of the ones that fall asleep?
No, no, no. The myotonic or fainting goats, those things are pretty cool.
Those things are wild. Like, I literally got stuck down a rabbit hole one day watching those, and I was just like,
You know,
all of a sudden 4 hours went by, and I'm like, I've been watching goats scream and fall asleep for 4 hours.
I'm gonna break your heart. You know what those are used for, right? The
No.
actual purpose of those goats is you put a couple of them with your expensive herd of goats, so that way if a predator shows up and attacks your goats, the cheaper fainting goat falls over and he's the you ain't got to be faster than the bear, you just got to be faster than your buddy. That whole thing.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh no.
those things are that's what they use them for in practice.
No.
You guys got an interesting little show, and I don't mean little like in a demeaning way by any means, but I I can't figure out why your guys' YouTube audience isn't bigger. I've been trying to figure it out for the last couple weeks.
Now, if we didn't go, we're not promoting it right, if we're not, paying the right people off, I don't know.
I don't know, man. YouTube's still a mystery to me. I mean, I've had, guys go on YouTube and do very well. I've had people who put out a high quality show, never get any traction. It's and then what are we doing to appease, to Mike's point, our algorithmic overlords to allow us to get out on YouTube? Facebook we do all right on, but YouTube is a mystery.
It's kind of bizarre. Hopefully this will help a little bit. Hopefully this couple people check you out. I do have quite a few veterans in my little audience.
Absolutely, it's always free to like and subscribe. So
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in chat real quick.
Absolutely.
I just subbed your channel and your Twitter, so
Thanks, appreciate it.
Now, how did you get in touch with the Making Law Simple?
So my buddy Dave, obviously, is MLS. He there's Hellfish Havens in chat, y'all. Go like and subscribe. Go check them out. I don't really even know. We just kind of linked up at some point on a stream, and we work well together. And Dave's awesome. He's a brilliant dude. I swear there's nothing he can't do. But he was talking about the MLS thing, and I told him how horrible of an idea it was from the beginning, and that was just kind of how it started. And we just clicked, and the Lego thing, it just flows, man. I think it's a decent little stream, and we're building still. We're getting there.
Absolutely, building an audience and actually tentatively building something in front of people too, like providing stimulation of all senses. You got the folks with the chat, you got the building, like firing on all cylinders.
Heck yeah, we need to get you guys involved in some of that stuff.
So what is it with the Lego blocks? Is it just a way to zone out, or it's a space to build in, or is it just something that from childhood, or just what I like Lego blocks and here's what I got?
I think it's a little of all of the above, man.
Yeah,
it's it was always a childhood toy, and same with Dave. I know he's got a lot of like childhood memories with Legos, and it was I started doing it on a stream way back in the day with the guy, and we would just kind of hang out and build Lego and just kind of BS, and then me and Dave turned it into a interview stream. where we get to bring somebody in and ask them all kinds of awesome questions while their brain's preoccupied, and we get some good answers out of it.
Yeah.
Folks are asking, what are you working on currently for Legos?
Well, I just bought the big El Dorado Fortress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big set. I just bought that. Haven't really got to putting it together yet. I'm doing these little the Star Wars helmets. They're like little bust pieces. They've got a whole line of these, so I'm kind of doing these on the streams right now, which is pretty cool. You guys ever do the Lego thing?
Well, I remember my dad got a Lego block set when I was a kid, and that started the thing. It was the Universal. They were called the Universal Builder sets back then, and I don't know if they still have it in archive, but it was a bulldozer with a motor on it, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I couldn't get enough of. And then my first Lego set was the Lego Spec 482, the Space Cruiser, and I thought, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. It had all kinds of stuff, and it could, a little forklift that carried the thing out of it, and then it just went from there. And I had a little motorcycle when I was in the Marine Corps, and then some Lego block, and then some Star Wars stuff. I kind of lost track of it after that.
That's kind of about the same, I guess. When I was a kid, it was always the pirate sets and the medieval sets, and you grow out of it at some point. And at 40 years old, I said, "To hell with it! I like my toys. I'm gonna play Legos."
There's worse things you can do with your time than get together and do your thing with the bricks.
Right.
I feel it's gonna be like there'll be a program that's out there too. About mindfulness and Legos. Like, I mean, you got to be present in the moment in order to build.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's beneficial brain activity happening when you're building Lego sets. It can't be bad for you, right?
Absolutely.
Like Andy in chat. Andy in chat says, always did Legos with his daughter, and now she's an architect. That's got to be there's a causal link there, I think, right?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, and then look at Minecraft. It's just the updated version of Lego blocks for kids now.
It's a virtual Lego set, basically.
Yeah.
I still liked SimCity when I was growing up.
Yeah, a little more complicated. It was a good one though. It was a good one. Up until about 2010, I think it was, right? The SimCity 2000 or 2010. Then things got really complicated and unnecessary. Got to lay gas lines in. This is ridiculous.
Some of them now though are really complicated. Like they got some car ones with like a fully engine and transmission with a drive shaft in it.
Well, a lot of them too. You can get there will be another company that creates like a light set for it. So you buy this light set, replace these parts with these parts, and now you've got lights and all your castles and music playing, and this part spins. And they get pretty intricate.
What do you do with them once you have them made?
Most of them sit on a shelf back here. It's not like they're just part of the studio, I guess. There's a whole table back here full of like Star Wars stuff, and I'll probably end up taking most of that down as I get bigger, cooler sets.
Okay, well, I mean, some people build them and then they run out of space to put them, and then what do you do with them?
Yeah, you put them in a box and pass them along to a kid somewhere along the line, I guess, right?
Or a bigger kid, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Now, do you glue them when you're done together, or you just let them be as they naturally are?
Nah, they're just in fragile mode all the time. Got to repair them every once in a while. Dog will come in here and bump the shelf and knock something over. More times than not, the wife will come in here and knock one over. Got to fix it.
It's a lot easier, to forgive the little furry guy sometimes,
Yeah. Luckily, mine are both pretty lazy. I do a lot of couch sitting, my dogs.
Lego law and life. Now, what's the law aspect of this?
Well, that's kind of the sphere, I guess, that I'm in on YouTube, right? Is the law tube sphere, I guess. Um, David's a practicing attorney. He's a defense attorney in Michigan, and a lot of our commentary and our guests are, other YouTube lawyers, and we're branching out of law tube a little bit more lately, but that's kind of where we started at. Law tube adjacent.
I love it. I love it.
I like it.
You folks definitely have infiltrated the chat for sure, and Wendy's even helping out. Making sure people are subscribing to us. So much obliged, Wendy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my chat's pretty awesome. And like I was saying earlier, there's quite a few veterans in my chat.
Now, what did you do in the military before you got out?
I was in 11 Bravo.
Okay.
I carried a saw for 4.5 years or something crazy. Kicking in doors and,
The cool stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff with a giant rucksack on my back.
The only time I actually got to have a saw was my first tour, and we turned it in the first week for a 240 Bravo.
There you go.
So
I love that machine. That weapon system is absolutely amazing. Once you get familiar with it, I love that system.
The 240?
249.
Okay.
It's essentially the same system, just a little beefier on the 240.
And then it was always fun for us because, so as an MP team, your driver has the saw, and then your gunner, gets whatever's there. So essentially, everybody's just handing the gunner the weapon. And it's
this is silly.
Yeah.
Oh. No, we had when we did when we were doing convoys and stuff, we'd have the big guns out. We'd have 50 cals and Mark 19s and craziness.
On my third tour, they banned all Mark 19s and they're taking down everything. So it's everything that you deploy with, and then all of a sudden they're like, by the way, you can't have any of this stuff anymore.
For those that don't know, the Mark 19 is a machine gun rocket launcher, not a rocket launcher, grenade launcher. Sorry, it's a belt-fed grenade launcher, so it would launch 40 millimeter grenades. I don't know how many a minute, but it was a lot. It created a lot of destruction. It was a pretty impressive weapon system.
And you basically same thing, just you hold it down and let it go.
Yep.
They rotate 0.3 times and go boom.
Oh, that thing would reach out 1,000, 2,000 meters, no problem.
And I never understood why they use the orange cans in the training rounds.
Orange?
Yeah.
I think we had blue on ours. I think ours were all blue.
Every time we use it, it would lay an orange thing on the old fake tanks that would be out in the ranges.
Oh, you mean the paint ones?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I only got to fire that weapon a couple times, but it was always fun. That one's intense.
That I wish I got to fire an AT4. We got to use the tracer rounds where you shoot the 9mm round through it.
Oh, I've shot an AT4 a couple times,
but never got to fire a live one.
I've fired a couple live ones. I've actually never missed with an AT4. That's my little claim to fame. I've only shot 2 or 3 of them, but I've never missed once. That was The mirroring is kind of freaking me out too, Ellie. Not gonna lie. My camera is mirrored, so everything's backwards.
Oh no.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go. Now we're back to normal. So you guys are having a grand opening this weekend? This week?
So yeah, tomorrow night, Hellfish Haven's gonna open up at 22 Mohawks. So 22 Mohawks, a fellow suicide prevention organization here in Massachusetts. And I went down there about a month and a half ago and hosted a game night with them. And I saw they had an extra room that was, open. And, I said, hey, can we move in here? And they were like, absolutely. And so we got the been moving in all week, and then we're gonna do a game night tomorrow for family and friends to come down and be able to, just have like. There's too many legions, VFWs, places that are closing down. Like veterans still have
Right.
a place to go. So like that's why I firmly believe that we need brick and mortar places like this to have.
I like it.
Whether like a guy and his kid come in and play video games for a couple hours and can pick up information on programs and just like I don't know. It's
Where's
just
that at in Connecticut? You said
no Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Where?
it's in Sharon. It's about a mile and a half from the stadium in Foxborough from Gillette.
Okay. Very cool.
So yeah, right in Sharon, you pull off the highway Route 1 and you're there. And,
There you go. There you
so
go, vets. Anybody in the area, go check them out, man. Go support them. Show them some love.
No, I'm not part of Hellfish Haven, just to clarify. So
Okay.
And so
we kind of collab together.
Mike Radio, and he's been 300 and X episodes.
I got 384, 85.
Oh,
Closing
cool.
on 400. I've been doing it for 8 years.
So what's your YouTube channel?
Well, my YouTube channel's not that big. I'm bigger on Facebook, but I can paste the YouTube channel in here if you want to see it.
Let's paste them all in there.
He's got the long URL still for his Facebook though. Got to turn that down and take those numbers out.
I definitely deleted my Facebook account like I don't know 5 years ago at least.
Yeah, I've been very Facebook and LinkedIn are kind of my thing. YouTube again is just one of those that just never really worked for me. I put it in the private chat.
I'm putting it in my chat now.
I'm throwing it in the chat as well. There it is. And then when going on streams, like Travis is like you said, got quite a following when it comes to the other social media platforms, but like I can't make the poll on TikTok yet. Like people keep telling me I have to get there and be able to engage people, but I haven't been able to pull the trigger on that.
TikTok's one of those ones I'm not going anywhere near. I'm not touching it.
I don't want the spyware. I don't want
not poking it with a stick. Nothing. TikTok can do whatever TikTok's doing way over there.
No.
That's kind of how I feel. Like I get told the same thing. Like, oh, you got to be on TikTok. But I'm like, do you know what that thing actually does to your? It's not what you think it is.
It's not. It doesn't seem to be beneficial to people's well-being. I don't think.
No, it's like I just feel like when an app's created to mine data from you, it's just it can't be good.
No. I like all mine old-fashioned and getting mined by the FBI. Don't need to send that stuff over to China.
And now you guys started getting a big mass following with a bump in the current case, correct?
You're talking about Karen Reed, right?
Yes.
I actually haven't been streaming much lately. I've taken the last handful of weeks, months, and just been doing Lego streams for the most part. But yeah, that Karen Reed case is really, really interesting. And it seems to be more and more obvious that there's some shenanigans going on there with her and Turtle Boy, and that whole situation just stinks.
Yeah, I can't figure the Turtle Boy out. I don't know if this is like payback for other things that he has done or what, but man, they are coming hard after him.
Well, I did watch his last motion or hearing or whatever when they released him, and the prosecutor at one point in there, he's like, well, we were hoping to keep him locked up at least until the Karen Reed case is over. Well, that's got nothing to do with the current charges that you're charging him with. Why are you even bringing that up in a motion about this case? It's pretty evident if you're paying attention to what's going on. They're out to shut him up so they can sweep this Karen Reed thing under the rug, is my speculation and opinion.
Well, that too. I mean, he broke the story on the Black Lives Matter person here in Mass. They were getting money and not spending it right, and there's a couple other things that he's been involved in, and it just seemed like he has acquired a very long list of people that don't like him.
It's not when you're outspoken and pointing out corruption, it's real easy to have that happen, you know.
Right.
Real easy for people that are losing lots of money to get mad at you over it.
But the thing I'm having problems with though is, okay, forget his style. Like he's shown us that there's something off with the Karen Reed case.
Oh yeah. Whether you okay, so I've gotten to stream with Turtle Boy a couple times. I've spoken to him, for a couple hours, not like a whole lot, but I am aware of him, who he is, and what he's doing, kind of thing. And he's not full of it. You know what I mean? Like he's got evidence to back up everything that he's saying, and
that was
whether you like his style or not, he's effective. He's effective and entertaining, and people are paying attention to what he's saying. And if that information could potentially put somebody in prison, they're not going to be happy about that at all.
Yeah.
Wolfram just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Wolfram. You're amazing. Welcome to Goat Herders, y'all. You got cool emojis now.
And so the case with Turtle Boy, I got to be an informant for one of his stories a few years back.
Oh yeah,
all the stories on Landon Steele, the supposed hero of the global war on terror.
That's cool.
So this kid that was with us, he deployed with us, and he wound up like faking all these documentations, everything like that. Like he lied to Gold Star parents, and like his entire existence was just stolen valor. Like, and like when he deployed with us the first time, he really didn't do anything. The second time he deployed with us, they went to go send him to school to recall for his stuff as a medic, and he wasn't even MOSQ. So. And then, so what they did is they demoted him to PFC and processed him out of the Army. And then this kid became like tried to be like a veteran like spokesperson for a while, like with the beard and everything. And then like he wanted to he got like the Tactical Beard Owners Club like tattoo on his hand. But like this kid would wear like 7 outfits at once. Like he would wear a full set of winter PTs underneath his ACUs.
That's weird.
And like it was just like something was always off with this guy, and like he would just tell these stories. Like he was like, "Yeah, we were walking down, Fob Danger into Crit, and we just shot, a person off the bridge with our 9mm." I was like, "No, you didn't."
No, you didn't.
I was like, "That never happened." I was like,
"Why would you do that?
Before? Like,
it doesn't make any sense."
Eating good food, doing nothing.
That's one thing that I've kind of not dived into the veteran community very far for that reason, right? Because there's knuckleheads out there everywhere, and me and Dave MLS, we've done a couple of streams exposing like big stolen valor cases, where it's not like we broke the news or anything, but let's highlight these guys because they were doing some really shitty stuff, and let's make them famous, kind of thing.
Yeah. We got guys over here in Mass that have created pretend organizations that look veteran adjacent so that people will donate to them and things like that. And Travis and I had to do a show to promote a guy that was charging people at the VA to do their claims for them, and it was like we had to expose the guy and be like, "Hey, you do not have to pay VA employees to do your claims for you." Like
that's insane. We found one guy. What the hell was his name? I can't remember his name now. Caffey, I think is what his name was. He was working as like a hedge fund investor. He was also working for the death claims department for the Army. So he was taking people's life insurance policies after they passed and investing them for the family into his own personal work account. He stole million, or it was something like $600,000 or $750,000 he got away with.
Wow.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Might have even been more.
It blows my mind.
Big show on him.
Like it blows my mind, like the type of evil that you have to one to be charging people to do these things, and then too, like, when you have a veteran come to you and tell you that, they're on the verge of homelessness, and you're like, pay the piper anyways, and it's like, that's a certain kind of evil.
Oh
Well, I
yeah.
gotta check in with the little one for a second.
Yep. Yeah, that's something that I take real personal, and I have no problem putting those guys on blast.
Right. I mean, like the situation he was talking about, I know the guy in Rhode Island at the Rhode Island VA who was doing that. And to imagine you knew this guy, he allegedly was a, you know, good guy. And he, he literally, the affidavit showed on Michael Dara, that's who it was, is that he's telling this guy's like, hey, I'm sleeping in my car, man. Is this am I going to get money or what I need because I'm giving you money? He's like, yeah, I need that money. And not only did he not get what he needed, he's out his money now. And so to me, I just got a special hate for those. I mean, you steal from another brother or sister in
Yeah,
arms.
it's about as low as it gets, man.
Let's bring back, public lynchings or floggings. I mean, I don't care.
Can you say hi,
Bring
Emily?
back the stocks.
Can you say hi?
Throw-
So this is
There
Emily,
she is.
it's my daughter.
Hi, Emily. You're a cutie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mom's in the kitchen, yes.
That's cute.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of tar and feathering making a comeback, if I'm being honest.
let's do it.
It's true. If there's more public, things that would, I feel like that would have a better thing than, people going to jail half the time. If there was like, the guy that had to hold the sign that said, don't, use a dummy in the carpool lane. Like,
Right.
that was a good punishment for that guy.
There's that one judge that dishes out all kinds of weird punishment like that. I can't remember who he is. Chat might be able to help me out. But he'll do all kinds of weird stuff like that. Hold a sign for this bum at a street corner or whatever the case may be.
Chat's firing up, guys. This is very nice. Thank you, everybody, for checking this out tonight.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Chat's coming through good. I like you guys. You guys are awesome. So let me get a little bit of a breakdown. How would you guys describe this podcast?
Veteran friendly.
Veteran friendly? Is it
just we're trying to come up with different ways to like serve the community. Like we just want to be able to like share nonprofits. We want to be able to share benefits that exist. Like we've had different organizations on tell what they're doing lately or like what they've done overall as a mission to help the community. It's just one day Travis and I were talking and like there just didn't seem to be any way to cut through like there's so many nonprofits out there. There's so many organizations that are doing things for veterans, but unless they're specifically tailored and you understand what they're doing, they can be a lot on people.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's
really
that's one thing about the benefits of being a veteran. Like if you don't know, you're not going to find them on your own. You know what I mean? If you don't have a good resource guide, you're swimming in the deep end all on your own.
Well, I think too for me is the Oscar my career that I do for veterans and military stuff is by design it's structured with a format that and a flow that I use for me that works for what I do for a very long time now. And so what we found is, or what I believe is, a lot of people, some people clam up like the minute I turn the camera and the light on, it's like, oh, the eyeballs get real big and you got to spend the first 10 minutes getting them like calm down.
Right.
Whereas if you just, hey man, click the link, come on, just talk to us. You don't have to be special or anything. We're all just dudes figuring it out. That person who might have a little, anxiety about, being in front of the system, realize we're just all talking too. We got the dog going and, kids going in the background for both of us.
Absolutely. It's just, you try to keep it informal. We don't want to like make it too hard pressed on folks. We want them to be able to have a voice and be able to come on. Like the first couple episodes we did, we didn't line up any guests. We literally just said, if you're in the chat, here's the link, jump on.
And so I think what it proves is, yeah, I've got like my thing in my show, but there's room for everybody. A lot of veteran content creators, podcasts, radio, TV people get really like siloed and guarded. And I'm like, it's a big sandbox. There's plenty of toys for everybody. And what might work for Oscar Mike Radio may not work in health in war. What we do here in war may not work other places, but we're all getting the message out there.
I like it. You guys seem to be goal oriented, I guess, especially with the grand opening tomorrow, and you guys you're actually doing good things. It's good to see. I like it.
And Travis has also got another involvement too with Two Lives at Once. Do you want to talk about
Yeah.
that for a second?
Well, so I'm board chairman for a nonprofit called I Got Your 2 Lives at Once. The URL is 2 Lives at Once, literally. And we provide service dogs to veterans and first responders, not just veterans, right? Because a lot of our police and fire deal with traumatic situations, and we're trying to support them as well. And we've had some success, getting trained service dogs to these people in need. It's been very rewarding. And then what happened because of Oscar Mike, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit, is the town of Abington. I live in Abington, Massachusetts. The veteran service officer there is like, hey, I want to do something with the community access channel. And so we've created this TV show, and our first show dropped on Tuesday, and it's gotten a lot of good stuff. But I'm host and producer of a TV show now. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's just really cool how some of this other opportunities. And I think for us, it's not so much about the numbers, although we'd like great numbers and great engagement. It's about the relationships we make and being able to let people know that, hey, here's a space. Wendy, man, dude, you weren't kidding. Wendy H is on it.
She's awesome, man. Wendy H is amazing.
I mean, Wendy, I mean, much respect. I mean, dude,
she's good.
Better than. If we could clone her, man, I mean, Mike and I'd be set for life. Thank you, Wendy. I'm just saying. I mean, I should have been like typing the URL in there, and I didn't think to do that. It's great.
Wendy's got it, man. Wendy's got it.
Yeah.
That's pretty admirable with the dogs. How'd you get into that?
It's a good story. So this Amber Smith is the founder and executive director, and she comes from a generational military family. Like they can trace their lineage back to the Civil Wars when they started serving our country. And her father and grandfather, her grandfather had problems with Agent Orange from Vietnam. Her dad had, Desert Storm stuff. And she saw that dogs helped them out. And she, started asking me to get involved and let's check things out. And I'm like, I don't know if I have time for a nonprofit. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I'm sure.
And she got her grandmother on me one night. I'm telling you what, she like, I want you to meet my grandmother, and then mysteriously disappeared. And grandma got me for 15 minutes. And I'm like, I mean, laid it on.
That's good.
So
apparently grandma knew you needed it.
I guess so, man. I guess so. It's hard to tell cute little old lady no. And
right.
So, but it's worked out really cool because you get to watch a civilian, work to advocate for veterans. And, I think it's cool when civilians support us. So, we're open to anybody that wants to support, veterans' causes and fellow Americans, man.
Absolutely. I dig it. We need more of that in the world.
So what's next for you? What is there another case you're working on and you're looking at doing? Is it, or is it do you have a criteria?
I have a weird approach when it comes to my YouTube, right? If it's not something I really want to do, I'm just not gonna. Like, I'm not gonna go cover the Rust trial because it's getting big numbers or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So it for a case to grab my attention, it's got to be something interesting, something that kind of speaks to me, and we'll see what comes up when. And I need to get back on the Karen Reed thing and do a couple more streams about that. Need to get back up with Baker. But otherwise, otherwise we're doing the Lego streams a couple times a month. I think we're gonna try to do those probably 2 times a month. I think going forward, and we're gonna try to reach out and get some interesting guests on that. We've got quite a few coming up. We've got a Lego stream tomorrow night actually with Sean from Potentially Criminal, who's also a defense lawyer in Ohio, I think. Don't be mad, Sean.
Now, do your guests choose their own things to build, or do you guys send them like something like that?
Oh, they're buying their own. I barely can afford my Legos. I'm not buying everybody else's.
Well, that's the thing, man. Legos got expensive. There's a Lego store in the mall nearby. I'm like, I'll go down and check it out. They had the Voltron set there. I'm like, okay, I'll check that out. Oh, that's $399. I'm like,
yeah,
those bricks can't be. I mean, are the licensing fees that much money? That was insane.
Well, it's a brilliant business model, right? You're just producing little tiny plastic pieces and combining them in a way that you can sell them for 3 million times their cost. It's good.
Do you ever get upset that you didn't think of that idea first? Because
they've been around a lot longer than I have, you know.
I know, but still,
it's a pretty it's a pricey little hobby, I guess.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you're sitting there with your dudes talking about legal stuff, putting together Lego blocks. In a way, it's very American, right? I mean, and think about all the other things you could be doing with your life, but you're sitting there. I don't know. I think it's just cool.
We enjoy it. It's fun. It's an entertaining stream. If you guys haven't watched them, they're good. Me and Dave got good banter. Wendy's there. She's amazing. And it's all about, just kind of like this, just chilling out with the boys and cracking jokes and drinking a cold one,
Love it.
It's good.
Now, do you think, something like that would have happened, without people, isolating because of, COVID and everything like that? Or do you think, like, people have moved to more, social engagement online because they're tired of going in person and dealing with
I think there's a couple of aspects that kind of all went into play. Obviously the lockdowns, right? When people were forced into their home, obviously they're going to find entertainment that they can engage in their home. But unlike, like Hollywood, which is producing just garbage content, we also have a
remake and repeat.
But we've got the ability to interact with our audience too, right? So it's not like you can just text Tom Cruise and be like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? But if I'm streaming, hey, what are you doing? It's right there. I can directly interact with people, and that's kind of the cool thing.
Does it matter if they're a long time, viewer, listener, or just someone new popping in? You like interacting regardless?
I try to. I'm not, the best at it. And the Lego streams are a little hard because you're looking at the book instead of chat. But, most of the people in chat right now, like I converse with fairly regularly, actually. I see most of them, every day, even days when I'm not streaming. I see them somewhere in chat. That's kind of that's where I hang out, is YouTube chat.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of like retro, but when I say retro, think about it. N64 on a Friday night with GoldenEye and some Pizza Hut pizza.
Yep. Or that Xbox the LAN party going with different
Halo.
Yes, sir. The Halo.
That was the best, man.
Halo LAN parties. We were doing that in Iraq. It was awesome.
And those are the type of things that we try to create with the game nights, and try to have things for guys to do, and because we do, even like when we go to these VFWs and the Legions, we tell them a couple $100, buy a video game system, put it on the TV, that's sitting over there not being used, and let guys come in and play. Like if you did that, you would get at least 5 to 10 guys that would come in here per month, regularly,
right?
And it's just like they're so dead set on being, the masters of their own domain and like knowing what they know best. It's like a lot of people won't, change, and it's like it's been tough to watch these places close their doors instead of making small changes.
I remember when I was growing up, living in small towns, they'd have buildings like that where they'd have TVs and video game setups, and the kids would go in there after school and hang out instead of getting into trouble. I don't know if that's really a common thing anymore, is it?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you brought me back. I remember, the guys bringing their PlayStations out to the field, and there were epic Madden tournaments with brackets, or
Yep.
Resident Evil had just dropped for the PlayStation, and even lieutenants got in on it. So it was just, it's always been a really, like, in our generation, a really like cool way to chill out. And then Halo dropped, and forget it. It was all over.
Camping out at GameStop for the new Call of Duty. That kind of good memories. Good memories.
Well, thank you.
But dude, I'm watching this stream, like the Lego Law Life and Libations #3, and it's just really like you're not even working at it. You're just hanging out with your headset on, building Legos, having a good time.
It's a
simple formula, man.
It's hard to mess it up. I mean, it works because we've got some of the people that we've got, right? Wendy's amazing, Dave's amazing. I'm there, so it works. It works.
And luckily, you guys are all working on different sets though at the same time.
Mm-hmm. We've had one of those go 6 hours one time.
What?
6 hours of well, shout out Good Logic. It took him a while. he was a little slower than the average participant. He was also on death's doorstep. He was very sick, but he hung through, and it was a good stream. It was a really good stream.
And then Travis, who's coming on at 8?
What's that?
Oh yeah. I got a jet. So I've got my show starting at 8 o'clock with Oscar Mike Radio. I've got New US Navy veteran and Nashville musician Cody Howell coming up. So
very cool.
It'll be on my YouTube channel, Facebook, everywhere else. But we are resilient. We are WAR. And man, I just really enjoyed getting to talk to you tonight. Kind of like nostalgia, but just good times hanging out with your bros. And having a good time, man. And thank you very much for kind of jumpstarting my spirit.
Thanks for the invite, boys. I appreciate it.
No problem. And you guys, make sure you follow Valhalla Waits on X, formerly known as Twitter. I still don't understand the whole X thing. It's weird. Then on YouTube, thanks for hanging out tonight, explaining a little bit where you've come from, what you've done, and then Travis, we'll see you at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I gotta leave. I'll see you. Right. Nice meeting you.
Likewise. Nice meeting you both. Thanks, chat. Love y'all.